It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ as I talk to different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders about what they're doing in the community to make a difference. As always, I invite you to my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, all shows available on demand, and also you can watch us here live in studio via the live stream button. We got a great show planned for you today. It's going to be a very interesting show. We got a number of people in the studio today. I barely can fit all these people in here today. American Plumber, Charlie the Plumber, is in studio with me today. He's off to the side now, but we'll be hearing a lot from him on the throughout the show today. And if you hear him in the background a little bit, he doesn't have a microphone in front of him, but his voice carries. I don't need one. Yeah, you see, you don't even need. I can hear that just fine. So, but also in studio, the lovely Stella Giudicelli. She joins me in studio today. Stella, how are you doing today?
Good morning, everyone. I'm excellent, and I'm glad you could make some room for me in the studio today.
Yeah, people always looking for Stella Giudicelli out there. I mean, you need to be in here more often with me, you know.
I want to come more often. I love coming here.
Stella, a fellow real estate professional like I, works with Coldwell Banker in South Tampa. She comes in and out of shows and been with me since the beginning of doing radio. I'm almost 2 years on radio now, and Stella's been a great supporter of the show, so I thank Stella for that very much so.
I'm a fan.
Also in studio, I'm going to introduce you all to Topher Morrison, who's the managing director of Key Person of Influence, which is a growth accelerator firm that has worked with over 1,000 companies globally to help them dominate their market share. Topher, how are you doing today?
I have nothing of value to add today. I'm completely distracted because there's so many people in the studio. Stella's knee is pressed up against mine, and I, at this point in time, can't think of anything. I have nothing, no thoughts in my brain right now whatsoever. All I know is that I'm very, very happy.
I don't think it's true that you don't have any thoughts.
None that will go on the radio.
And actually, let me introduce my first guest who just chimed in here. That's Michael Murphy, who framed his first corporate job in a frame supplier's parking lot on 2 sawhorses. And 25 years later, the passion has grown to become the finest archival framing business and fine art gallery in the Tampa Bay area. Michael, welcome to the conversation in the show.
Wow, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm impressed with myself now.
Yeah, so I hear you're a male socialite out there, and everybody knows you.
No. That is just a rumor that somebody started, maybe me, but I'm not going to say it was, you know. But I'm very social.
I confirm.
You got one of your fans here. You drew Stella in here today. She saw that you were a guest, and she's like, "Oh, I was
told she was coming, so that's how I came." So I'm thinking maybe there's
that was the whole reason why I agreed to be here. Is because wait a minute, that's how Jamie gets his guests. He just says Stella's going to be in the show.
Do you want to be there?
And then we go, yeah, I'll be here.
No, I'm telling you.
So tell me about this art gallery business type of stuff. Where are you? I see you're over on McDill.
Yep, we're in South Tampa.
And this is your framing kind of gallery.
We do framing. We do art. We do a little bit of everything. We've actually, over the past 4 or 5 years, done a lot of corporate work where we're helping, even doing branding. We just helped with the USL organization here, who's expanding. We just redid
What is the USL organization?
United Soccer League. So they just expanded dramatically here. They're growing very fast, and they had a lot of issues. So when we go into an office space and we work on commercial, it's not only are we putting art up, but we're helping with their brand. We have a whole system that we've developed and what they're trying to do. When we work with people in their home, it's a very different environment. They want something that they love. They want something that they can wake up to in the morning and enjoy. So there's that. And then the framing side is a whole different background, and we do a lot of very high design, but also archival, because you want to make sure that it's around if it's something that's important to you.
So you're saying that you are also an interior designer?
Not so much an interior designer. I wouldn't want to do that exactly, since several of them are clients. But we have clients that will call us up to let them, help them do their space. But also when you're doing an office, part of your environment says who you are. And so you've got to decide, who is your clientele? Is it about the people that work there? Is it about the people that are coming in? One of the analogies that we use is, if you're a law firm and you're a trust law firm, you want, horses and fox hunts because you want to look like you're old. If you're intellectual property, you want something contemporary. So it really states who you are, and it sets a mood for your clients.
What if you're a gun-toting, conservative, Republican, ex-Marine that puts flags up in the studio and is a plumber? What would you decorate?
I think that I would look for. You know what? I will find something to sell to him.
Hey, you know what? There's no such thing as an ex-Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
You know, you're an ex almost everything else. Let me tell you, you're never an ex-Marine. There's something different about them.
Well, you know what? I'd be useless without my guns. Like I was telling everybody in here, my guns have never killed anybody that didn't need killing. Hey, and let's face it, there's a lot of terrorists out there that need to be killed. You know what?
Well, now I understand why you have the metal detectors coming in here.
Yeah, why does it always go off when I come in here?
Charlie the Plumber. We'll hear more from him on the second half of the show. But so coming back to Michael. So are you an artist yourself?
No, please.
No?
No, I tried once. That's why I
So
sell
how did
it.
you find yourself into the art gallery business and the framing and all that stuff?
I have a slight tendency to be a little ADD and have these weird thoughts. So if I didn't do this, I would either be the guy pushing the cart somewhere underneath, like down the road during the day. But I love doing what I do. I love it when you're working with art, when you're working with clients, and it all comes together. And you get that moment when they love it, and we bring things to the marketplace that other people don't have.
Michael, so you're very well known in Tampa and successful. What do you think brought you that success?
A lot of drinking.
So,
By you or your clients?
Yes.
I look at some of these paintings and I would believe that because I just do not understand some of the art, what people consider art. To me, some of these paintings are nothing more than spilled paint on a canvas. Explain to me how some of this stuff is art. I mean, how can some of these abstract paintings and these, I don't even know, contemporary paintings be art?
In a serious vein, the truth is that, as opposed to the lie I was going to tell. But
I think the lie would probably be better radio.
Really?
Either or. Give them to me both.
You know what? I have to tell you, you're so good looking. I just wanted to get that out.
Oh, my God. We're going to hook Topher up here on the studio here.
But anyway.
He can't see me. There's a Marine flag and an American flag blocking his view.
Which is why I said that. Yeah. But, no, the thing about it, there's a lot of different art. So you can have we do a lot. In our gallery, we represent landscape painters, we represent abstract, we represent modern, postmodern. So it depends on what your tastes are. There's no really such thing as, I don't know anything about art.
But has anybody ever come in and they've wanted you to frame something and you just look at them and you go, seriously? Really? You want me to frame that?
I have a belief that if I quote a price and you want to pay it, I will frame it.
You'll frame anything. Okay.
Well done.
I'm in business.
Good businessman.
As I say, Tico doesn't come to me and go, you know what? You're a cultural institution, so you don't have to pay your electric bill this month. I've never had that happen. So until then, I still am a business.
Well done.
So what's the art scene like in Tampa? Is it a vibrant scene? I'm the most, I'm not anti-art, but I know nothing about art. So tell me, I mean, I'm not the type of guy that would go to a gallery and look at paintings. It just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. So tell me what's going on in the art scene in Tampa.
Well, Tampa's a growing art scene. I think that if you ask the general public, they would tell you that St. Pete is really starting to become more of that cultural
that's if
mecca.
you ask the people in St. Pete.
In Tampa, well, aren't we Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay, yeah.
If this is only in South Tampa zip code, this radio show, I need to change everything I'm saying. But
why? We're on iHeartRadio.
There you go. So I would say that you can find those pockets that are growing. I think that they are. I've seen it come and go over the years. I've seen people try and not try. But there's definitely sort of this underground movement that's coming. I think that with Vinnick and what he's getting ready to do and that kind of construction and that's coming, the people that will come will support the arts, and I think that will help a lot. But it's got a ways to go.
Who are some of the artists that you've worked with in Tampa that are well-known, or Tampa Bay, St. Pete, or in around? Who's out there that's known in the art community that you're working with?
Well, we've brought in people like Bernie Taupin, who was the writer for Elton John. He's an artist. We've brought in Peter Max. We've brought in Alexandria Nikita. So these are kind of the big name people. So people are pointing at people. I'm worried about guns now. I don't know.
Jamie has this look on his face like a deer in a headlight. You just mentioned all those names. He's like, okay, I'm just going to nod like I'm Joey on Friends, not understanding a joke right now.
Well, a lot of artists, especially a lot of musicians, are moving into it. So, there's people like, I'm showing my age now, but, Grace Slick is an artist who travels around. I mean, there are a lot of different people who have done that. Stephen Stills, of a very old group that nobody would ever know. He's a photography collector and a photographer. So, I mean, there's a lot of other artists who their outlet is art as well. And some of those people, every once in a while, we'll get them and bring them through.
Yeah. So what type of art do you feature in your gallery? Is it pretty much the whole gamut? I mean, what's popular out there?
It is Tampa, Florida. You can't specialize in much of anything.
So it's just whatever they bring in there and stuff. Yeah.
We carry everything from traditional landscapes, a lot of Florida landscapes. We have an artist, Ellie Blair from Gainesville, and she's great. We have artists that do contemporary and abstract, the people who take the buckets of paint and throw them on the canvas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right there, man.
Know.
I don't get that stuff. I really don't. I don't. So I'm actually on your website, which is michaelmurphygallery.com. I'm looking at some of this stuff, and I swear I could do some of this stuff.
I can sell it.
I could do it myself.
Let's do this. We'll put a whole series out. We'll promote it on the show. We'll be rich.
You know what? I'm going to dump some paint on the canvas, and I'm going to bring it to you, and I'm going to call it art. And I'm going to tell you I bought it in a studio somewhere or something, and I'm going to see what you tell me it's worth. Because I swear, some of this stuff, like, what's this thing here? Beatrice Sagar? That just looks like some spilled paint. Who's Beatrice?
Beatrice Sagar?
Yeah.
Actually, what she works in...
I hope she's not listening, by the way.
She's in Miami, so
okay.
Probably not.
And
right. I didn't publicize it, so, if she is...
Yeah, I just
I had nothing to do with this. I'm just saying I'm answering the questions that are put forth. But she works in a lot of what she did. She started out doing pattern work. She worked a lot with fabrics, et cetera, and she did these patterns. She moved on in the series that you're seeing there, and she's working with fresco or like a plaster.
What do you think of people that have their self-portraits painted? I have a self-portrait of myself hanging in my living room.
You have a TV screen in here with your picture on
it. I'm all over the place.
You are
self-grandizing.
I think you need a therapist in here to do a little segment personally.
Let's get some web traffic on his website here. What? Tell me about these naked pictures of Beyonce. Did you enjoy framing those?
We actually did a deal where we got the original film so we could control the images. So they're, I just think I'm very control-oriented. So if you're going to have something, you should just own it. That's what I'm
not bringing myself a portrait of myself to put in your gallery so people can come in and see Jamie Maloney in all my glory in your studio. Would that be okay?
Absolutely not. But,
we'll have an event.
But here's the thing about portraits, really quickly, because we do a lot of that work. We work with a portrait broker who does a great job, Claire Robbins. She's actually done at SOCOM. She's actually been involved in General Brown, Admiral Olson, and most recently Admiral
Kirk. I don't know.
Admiral McRaven when he just left. That was my big. Anyway, it's another story for another time. But the portraits are really something more about leaving an heirloom for your children or where you've been and what you've done. It's really a big statement. So it's not so much about, oh, look at me. It's about this will be here generations from now.
It always generates a conversation when people come into my house and they see a portrait of myself hanging in the living room. I hear
from you is it's a daily thing. Like you take a picture, blow it up from today. Yeah, and then tomorrow it's another one from that day.
I get pictures of myself every single day with the studio, with my photographer, Rick.
It's a different way. Look, it's art. There's
I'm
nothing
very
wrong with it.
narcissistic, but I'm in here with another narcissist, Topher Morrison. This guy's worse than me. I made this guy's. He did the opening show with me. This is a funny story, and I did his show card for him. If you go to my website, you'll see all these different show cards.
This is a true story.
And so I barely know Photoshop, and I'm sitting here trying to put his card together, and I distorted his picture just a little bit much.
A little bit.
I couldn't even tell the difference afterwards. After
he had me stretched out so thin.
So, anyways, let me say.
It looked like a bean.
So I sent him the card, and he sends me this email back. Said, "You need to have a stern talking to your graphics department. They got this messed up. I'm all stretched out. I look horrible." He sent me this rant. So I replied back to him, "I am the graphics department." And so
At which point in time I said, "Send me your file."
So I sent him the card. I said, "Here," because he knew. He's like, "Send me the picture and the template. I'll do it." So he sends it back to me, and I'm talking to my sister Yara. I said, "Can you tell the difference in these two cards?" And she's like, "No, they look the same to me." So this guy knows his image better than anybody. I couldn't even tell the difference.
You got to control your image. When you're a superstar. That's just part of the whole thing.
I got to take a commercial break, but we were talking with Michael Murphy of the Michael Murphy Art Gallery. Learn more about him, michaelmurphygallery.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YagerFlooring.com. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Slow traffic in Pinellas County, southbound US 19 between Alderman and Highlands due to a crash near Beacon Groves blocking the right-hand lane. Also slow traffic on westbound I-4 near the fairgrounds. That's due to a crash near MLK, southbound 275 slow between Fowler and Sly. And typical delays on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway before Linebaugh through Waters. See traffic problems? Call the...
This report is brought to you by iHeartMedia.
At iHeartMedia, we've harnessed the power of sound in a way that can help you expand your reach to a new group of target customers and grow your business through customized and effective advertising. Call 844-BUY-RADIO or go to iHeartMedia.com.
Today, partly cloudy with a 30% chance of rain, high 91. Tonight, clearing skies, low 78. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 89.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, and learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. If you're just tuning in, that last segment a little crazy in here. We had Michael Murphy, owner of the Michael Murphy Art Gallery. Learn more about him at MichaelMurphyGallery.com and his gallery located at 2701 South McDill Avenue in Tampa, Florida. But time to switch gears a little bit. Focus first off, Topher, you got an event coming up here next Thursday, the 13th at 4 o'clock, a ribbon cutting ceremony, key person of influence of which you're the managing director. You got Mayor Bob Buckhorn stopping in. Let's talk briefly about that.
We've got the 13th, 4 p.m. till around 8 or 9 or whenever people go home. We're having our ribbon cutting for our new office downtown at 412 East Madison Street. It's not just a ribbon cutting for our business. This is why I'm really excited about this. I've actually talked 3 other companies into moving downtown as well. So we're doing a ribbon cutting for all 4 companies. Got Bob Buckhorn coming in at 4 o'clock. It's going to be a party.
Very cool. You got another office opening down there? So another suite opening in the building, or you got them all full now?
We got them all full.
Oh, I was going to say, American Plumber could move in there if you wanted.
That would be awesome.
Charlie, you need an office outside of the office. What do you think? You can move in downtown?
I want a place over there by Bob Buckhorn. He's our great mayor from Illinois. How do we have all these Yankees down here running our city? That's what I don't get, man. Everybody, 2 out of 3 people are not from this area, Jamie. As you know, I'm a native. I was born here.
That answers a lot.
That answers a lot. You know what?
Careful. Wait, I was born here too. So, really. Oh, no, I don't need a microphone. I can yell. It's important.
Hey, and remember, everybody, it's still a great day to be alive in America. And this is to my Marine Corps brothers out there. It's a good day to be dead if you're a terrorist. So kill them when you can.
I know you're looking forward to the debate tonight, Donald Trump, 9 o'clock. Trump. So is that your man? Is that your horse right now?
You know what I like about Donald Trump? He's the only one up there who's not a career politician. Well, Ben Carson isn't either. He's the great neurosurgeon that grew up in poverty. Single mother home.
There's also the ex-CEO of HP. She's not a career politician.
And then, but then again, he grew up to be the brain surgeon. His brother grew up to be a rocket scientist. So this goes to show you that even growing up in poverty, through education, you can succeed and become what you want to be in life. But this is the problem with our country now, family values and lack of education. Although we got this great government schools, these great government unions, doing such a great job, educating our children, that we have such a great high dropout rate. And let's face it, you know what? When 83% of black kids grow up without a father at home, that's the biggest injustice and inequity done to our black brothers and sisters. Hey, how about a mother and father raising their children? This is why we have such a great dropout rate and imprisonment rate. You know what? And the list goes on. And Donald Trump, he has ways of bringing the jobs back to where the people over here that don't have these high education levels can get a job. Let's stop outsourcing all of our jobs to China. Hey, let's get the Mexicans to build a fence to keep their people in, and stop sending them all over here, because you know what? There's a point to where we're just going to have way too many immigrants, or illegal immigrants, where I like to call them is illegal Democrat voters, okay? And we just need to bring the family values back to this country. Well, getting back to Donald Trump.
Well, we have values. They're just not yours.
Well,
They're still values.
Abortion on demand, that's a great family value. Yeah, we do it for the children. I get it. We humanize Cecil the lion, but we can't demonize Planned Parenthood for doing what they do. Everybody's seen this story. We've seen the abhorrent things that they do, but we're not going to talk about abortion right now, but we know that that's wrong too. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with our country that Donald Trump, being a businessman,
wait a minute.
He's going to be
being a businessman, though, his casinos are in bankruptcy. His net worth has plummeted over the past 10 years. Do you really think that he's got the ability to do that?
Thousands of jobs, unlike Barack Hussein Obama. He's the great constitutional attorney.
Who in his term has actually decreased unemployment every single quarter?
He's run our country into $19 trillion in debt. He's doubled what all the other presidents since George Washington have done. He's kicking the can down the road to where your great-grandchildren will be paying back this $19 trillion in debt, which is going to equate to $70 trillion in debt by the time we pay interest on it. Outsourcing all of our jobs. I mean, everything that...
How can you say he's outsourcing all of our jobs when unemployment has been decreasing every single quarter?
They just passed another... a trade agreement. They're outsourcing more jobs. Let's face it, we don't manufacture nothing in this country. Everything's outsourced to either China or all these other third world countries. You know what? Charity begins at home. Let's be sure that everybody over here has a house to live in, that
has leaky pipes,
that we meet their needs. There should not be a homeless person on this road.
Just in case you're listening, he actually is a plumber.
Very Christian, capitalistic, conservative, politically incorrect plumber, by the way.
Let's face it, people in this country don't die from starvation. They die from obesity. Yeah, there's way too many food stamps going around. There's way too much government waste. You know what? Let's stop giving money to these other countries. Let's remember this, charity begins at home. Let's take care of our own people over here first before we help the rest of the world.
Pretty sure that's the exact opposite definition of charity.
Well, you know what? No. Charity begins at home. Charity is for all. I love people. I'm for helping everybody out. But there's a point to where we got to stop having a continuous handout and let people pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And, let's have work fairs and cut off the welfare. How about that?
Charlie, I want to get you, in politics here, man. When are you going to put your name in the hat?
Charlie the Plumber for state representative. I tell you what, do a hell of a lot better job than a lot of these so-called career politicians. Hey, and you know what? We need to have another thing. There's way too many lawyers in politics. You know what they do? The lawyers make laws for lawyers. How about that?
Hey, you got a lawyer sitting here in the corner here. My girlfriend, Chloe, back here.
Lawyers are bad, but you know what? It's just we got way too many.
Yeah,
of
you're
them.
talking about
And
your number one
politics.
fan over there. She came in today just to meet you. She hears you on the radio all the time. Hey, hold that point, though. I got to take a quick break. We're in studio currently with Topher Morrison, Charlie the Plumber, also Michael Murphy, also Stella Giudicelli. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
America, go to Blinds.com or call 888-4BLINDS. That's 888-4-BLINDS. Call or go to Blinds.com today.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound US 19 is slow between Alderman and Highlands due to a crash in the right-hand lane. Also slow traffic off the Howard Franklin Bridge into the West Shore District. Southbound 275 is slow through downtown Tampa, and southbound 275 also slow between Bush and Sly. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. Poverty doesn't discriminate. It feeds on the forgotten. At Unbound, they believe in the collective wisdom of society's oldest and most vulnerable members. Providing sponsorship for the elderly is just one way Unbound is different. Learn more at unbound.org.
Winds, Weather Center forecast. High today, the low 90s. Typical afternoon showers and storms. Mid-afternoon, around 30% chance. Mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. And tonight's lows in the upper 70s. 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Each and every weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, as I talk to different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders about what they're doing to make a difference in and around the Tampa Bay community. And I know Thursdays gets a little off track at times with old Charlie the Plumber in here. He likes to take me a little political and stuff, but you definitely get the listeners' attention out there every time you're in here.
This was the most interesting radio break we've ever had. We learned how to kill people with a number 2 pencil.
Oh yeah,
that's dialogue you don't hear with every normal guest.
Well, you know, guys, I am Charlie, the Christian capitalist conservative plumber, and for that I apologize to no one.
I was going to say, never apologize.
I got a great respect and love for people, for animals. As being a Marine, I swore to defend my country against enemies, foreign and domestic. And you know what? I take that seriously. I got such a love for life. I hate seeing people being mistreated. I hate seeing ISIS night after night beheading people, burning them alive. The atrocities that they're doing this to people around the world. And you know what? Our government, the governments of the world are doing nothing to combat this. And people don't realize we're in World War III, and we got plenty of enemies, foreign and domestic, in our country. And all I want to do is protect everybody. Let me tell you what, I got a heart for people, and I think we should take care of people that cannot take care of themselves. I got a big problem with people that can take care of themselves and they don't. And I want to cut off those entitlements. I want to cut out the government waste. I want our country to be great again. And I think that if we keep on having these career politicians in office, it's going to be the same old, same old. Nothing's going to change.
But I can vouch for Charlie. I mean, he's a good guy. He definitely he's just very opinionated, and he has his beliefs. I mean, so and I respect everybody's opinions, whether
Absolutely.
it's left or right out there. And some people don't like the high. Or actually, Michael, go ahead. You want to say
I'm
something?
sorry, I do want to say one thing about this government, because now I'm getting into this. This was such a bad idea. But anyway. The point is, I think our government does a lot, and I think there's a lot that they do that we don't know. And I will tell you that I've had the unbelievable honor of working with SOCOM on several different projects and working with the people that headed SOCOM. And I can tell you that General Brown changed my life. We did a project with him, and he is just an amazing man. Then I worked with Admiral Olson after that, who was as amazing, and recently Admiral McRaven. And these men are exceptional human beings. I mean, I feel in their presence just that I've done virtually nothing in life. These men are amazing, and they are out there, and they are the line between us and terrorism, and they are brilliant, and they are smart, and those men are dedicated. And I will tell you, I wish people could meet them the way I have, because I don't think people really understand what our military is doing. I think the press, not, of course, this room press. I would never
I'm
say
not
that.
the press, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just a guy who does a radio
But I think they
show
like
each
to
day.
take on these extreme things, and they show these soldiers, and they talk about the innocents that are hurt or maimed or killed or what we did wrong, and that gets break. They don't talk about the things that we do right, and they don't talk about how great this country is.
Yeah, and I've talked to a number of politicians on the show, and one of the things that they tell me is it's not as partisan as what we're led to believe on the 24-hour news cycles that we see up there. It's just that's what gets ratings.
But our military is doing an exceptional job, and the people that are there, the ones that I've met that are at the top, I am so happy they're there. Now, I will say I do think that it's the military who should decide if we go to war, not the politicians.
Well, it's very humbling to meet these people, like you said. I got a customer, Carl Vogel. He flew 135 sortie missions in Vietnam. I mean, you meet these people, and some of them are so unassuming, and you know what? You would never know what they have accomplished, and a lot of them, they don't want credit for it, and they're just so humble. And being myself, being a Marine Corps veteran, you know what? I'm no hero. I've never earned any great medals. I was in during peacetime, and like I tell people, I didn't think Marines were supposed to. I never even earned a good conduct medal. Can you believe that? And I'm thinking, well, I didn't think Marines were supposed to get good conduct medals, right?
They're supposed to do their normal job, right?
Yeah, if I wanted a good conduct medal, I would have gone in the Navy.
But a lot of people ask me how I met old Charlie. Charlie comes in here on behalf of Yeager and Company, a third-generation flooring and remodeling company. He is their plumber, and so early on, old Jim Yeager come in here and say, I'm a little dry, a little boring, but Charlie, he knows how to spice it up. Can I bring in my plumber? And that's how old Charlie gets in here every Thursday these days. And
Jim Yeager Flooring and Company. I just talked to Rich this morning, and it's a great American success story. They work hard. He hires veterans, and you know what? God bless all of our veterans. I give them all so much credit. A lot of them that spend so much time away from their families. And let's face it, freedom is not for free. And only 1% of our population ever serve in the military. And, imagine that, 1%.
And a lot of people don't know it. Charlie, after his Marine career as a professional wrestler as well, and we just had the passing of old Rowdy Roddy Piper this past week. Did you know Rowdy Roddy?
No, I knew Dusty, though, and you know what? They're dropping like flies. And, Rowdy Roddy, he was quite a character. And, when it comes down to it, guys, life on Earth is short. And like I tell people, heaven and hell are real places, and I'm counting.
And you don't want to go to hell because you need air conditioning or something. What was that?
Jesus, and that's right. Eternity's forever, and especially after living in Florida here in eternity, like I said, I need air conditioning, and I do believe that there's one path to heaven through Christ Jesus, and you know what? And that's my Christian belief. And another thing, see, guys.
That's why I live in Florida, so if I do go to hell, I can go, wow, it's nice and cool down here. Kind of like it.
I'm sorry, I thought we were there once.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I want to share this with everybody. Charlie the Plumber was born on 3/16, so I started thinking 3/16. Where have I seen that? Oh, John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, Jesus, so that whoever believes in him shall not die, but has everlasting life. Amen. You know what? And that's who I'm counting on. I'm not counting on Buddha. I'm not counting on Mohammed. I'm sure as I ain't counting on Obama. Jesus.
Well, what about Trump now?
Well,
you count on Trump.
Donald Trump. He's the man. He's going to make our country great again. Let's face it, guys. This constitutional.
Our country's great now. It doesn't need to make it great again. Our country is great now.
If you listen to Barack Hussein Obama and his wife, you would not think that we're an exceptional country. We do
Only
nothing.
if you listen to the clips that they play on Fox. He actually is very pro-America.
Yeah, that's right. Don't fall into the media traps now.
He's not Hitler.
Don't fall into the media
I've heard him
traps.
say that, and I've heard him say that there's many paths to heaven, and he subscribes to being a Christian, but we know that he's not. I think Barack Hussein Obama is one of the antichrists. I tell people
He's not the Antichrist.
He's Satan himself.
This one's going to go viral
really
today.
Think about Barack Obama.
Man,
You
this is
know what?
going
Barack
viral.
Obama.
And yet, none of us are really that surprised that he just said that.
Can I get a costume to walk out the door?
Barack Hussein.
I need a costume to walk out the door. Just in case somebobody's out there.
Now let me tell you something. If Barack Obama wanted to do the right thing, he would resign and go back home to Kenya. How about that?
So, Topher, you run a business accelerator here, key person of influence.
Yeah.
Charlie here.
Wonderful segue, by the way.
No, actually, I wanted to
Very
segue this into, because Charlie is a key person of influence, in his plumbing business here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great segment or chance for you to recruit him into your key person of influence program here, man. Give him the pitch, man.
If I did, I wouldn't be able to teach any of the segments because it would all go back to how Obama is the Antichrist. But it would be fun, and I would love it.
You know what? This country is so divided. We are just as divided.
You know what? I don't think it is. I don't think the country's divided. I think the politicians are divided. And I think the politicians are more concerned about being a Democrat or a Republican than they are an American. In fact, let's talk about politics.
Let me ask you a question. What's the difference between the Democrats, Hillary Clinton's running for the Democrat nomination, and Bernie Sanders, who's the socialist, running for the Socialist Party? What's the difference between the Democrats and the socialists? Does anybody in here have an answer?
Well, she's female.
There you go.
Yeah, well, actually, there is a difference between socialism and democracy, much like there's a difference between Republicans and the Tea Party. There's the extremisms of things, and then there's the middle of the road. And I think, by and large, 95% of Americans don't associate or align themselves with Republican or Democrat. They associate themselves with America.
The head of the DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, was asked that question by Chris Matthews asked her this question, and he says, "What's the difference between socialism and democracy?" And she had no answer. She says, "No, the question should be, what's the difference between democracy or the Democrats and the Republicans?" He says, "No, that's not the question." She had no answer. Well, what's the difference between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton? Can you tell me that?
Well, she's moved left, because that's what the media is drawing her into.
Yeah, the thing is, they're just appealing to their bases.
Yeah,
they're
one and
very
the same.
similar. Yeah,
The Socialist
but so are all
Party-
of the Republicans.
The Socialist Party.
Donald Trump's no different than the other Republicans that are out there as well, but they're just doing things to appeal to the
I'm
base.
independent because the Republicans are way too liberal for me.
I
And
think
the
somebody could
Democrats-
just as fairly say, you know who you'd love? You'd love a guy named Augustus Invictus. He's running for U.S. Senate.
I like Michael
You need to
Savage.
meet this guy because he's completely independent, although he's on the Libertarian Party. You should meet him.
Well, like I said, the
You'd
Republicans
love
are-
about half of his positions.
The Republicans are way too liberal for me, but the Democrats are Marxist.
Wait, the
they're
Republicans are
socialist.
too liberal?
Yeah, but the Democrats are Marxist, socialist, Leninist, progressives, and progressives are the worst of the bunch. You know what? We are the United Socialist States of America. We're no longer the United States of America.
We're not.
We're
We're
the States of America. How can you say
We're
that?
not. You're falling into the media trap. You're listening to too much MSNBC out there
I want
and
to live
stuff.
in the United States
and too
of
much
America.
Fox.
This is why we should divide our country into two countries. United States of America, where I want to live, and we'll have the United Socialist States of America. We'll have New York, we'll have California, and whatever these other liberal states are. You know what? But let me ask you a question. How long will the United States, the Socialist States of America last? See, socialism works
You can't say you want to have the United States of America
Socialism works.
ununited into two pieces. That's not united.
Mason-Dixon line thing. We could start there. 'Cause
So-
the South will rise again.
Well,
There's one
socialism-
in the South.
socialism-
So, I mean, you could have that whole North-South thing start there, and then, we could
No,
expand
it's not
on
about
that.
the North and South. It's about right and wrong.
But we already had that, so we could start there and move on.
You know what? Socialism works until you run out other people's money to redistribute. Per capita, we owe more money per person than what Greece does. And Greece is a socialist country that's bankrupt. You know what? How long would the socialists last without? Okay. Hey, yeah, that's right. How long would the socialists last when there's no more the capitalist money to redistribute to themselves? This country's screwed when 51% of the people can vote to take money away from you, and me, and everybody else to redistribute it to themselves. How about that?
I think we need to get some baby asprin in here for Charlie to thin his blood before he has an aneurysm.
I know. He gets worked up in here.
I'm passionate about this. You know what?
It's hard to tell.
I don't want to live in the United Socialist States of a government of America. Socialism doesn't work. It works until you run out of other people's money.
That's not true. There's actually quite a few socialist countries that are doing quite well.
Like what?
So
Like
Sweden.
Oh, that's our great white brothers and sisters over there. Yeah, it's not doing so great now because they got so many immigrants over there sucking off the government teat. There's socialism, yeah. Look at China, yeah, they're doing great.
Don't think China's a socialist state, actually.
Let's have more slave labor.
I love Thursdays in with Charlie because I just kind of sit back. I don't really have to.
This is the easiest day.
I just kind of sit back and just let him talk.
I don't want to be a socialist communist. You know what? It doesn't work.
I don't think you're ever going to be confused with one of those.
Charlie, you're already getting all kinds of feedback from our listeners, man. You're some good, some bad, but you know, you'd always get listeners' attentions out there. So you know, you need to have your own radio show in here, man. You know, I think you'll develop a great right-wing base in here.
People need to wise up. They need to study the real issues. You know what? Voter apathy. People just have no freaking clue on what's going on. They did a little spoof about interviewing some people about Hillary Clinton. She's going to suspend the Bill of Rights. And these people had no clue. Oh, well, it was one lady says, you know what? This Bill of Rights is pretty much outdated. And these other people says, yeah, I like Hillary. I guess if she says that, that's okay. You know, it's going to be a good thing to do. See, people are so stupid. They don't watch the news, and there's highly educated people I know.
One could argue that people are stupid because they watch the news.
I was going to say the same thing.
Current events is no more than current history. And people that don't study history, you know what? They're doomed to repeat it.
Hold that point, Charlie. I got to take another commercial break.
I'm coming over here.
But you're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 347-0305.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
We start off in Palm Harbor, southbound US 19 between Alderman and Highlands. Slow traffic through there due to a crash in a right-hand lane. Farther to the south, southbound Belcher is closed just south of Sunset Point Road. Use US 19 through that area as your alternate. Southbound Armenia in Tampa just before Kennedy. 2 lanes blocked there due to construction repairs. And southbound 275 still very slow from Bush Boulevard to Sly. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Unerick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Today, partly cloudy with a 30% chance of rain, high 91. Tonight, clearing skies, low 78. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 89.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, each weekday morning at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. And also learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with me on the different social networking sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show. Also under the Twitter handle, Jamie_Maloney. Please follow me over there and keep up to date with all the show happenings. Currently in studio today, a lively debate. Thursdays is always interesting when old Charlie the Plumber comes in, and tag him in all the different social medias using the hashtag American Plumber. Love him or hate him, we want to hear it. He definitely gets listeners' attentions out there, and he's actually a radio regular. I mean, this guy, Charlie, I mean, he's on all kinds of radio shows. You're checking in all over the place, right? You're calling NPR, you're calling Jack and Ted up there in 970 every morning. You checked in with old Dr. Garco after my show, the Health and Wellness Talk. I mean, you just love radio, man.
Yeah, I love NPR, too. You know what? I've been banned from there a couple times, but why. But hey, anyway, you know what, guys? I feel a lot better after that handful of Prozac.
Yeah, he's calmed down a little bit now. But I want to come back over here to Topher. I mean, you got a person in your Key Person of Influence program right now, Augustus Invictus, who is running for the Libertarian Party for the state Senate.
U.S. senatorial candidate, yeah.
And I met him, and he definitely has some different political views. I think it'd be a fun show to put him and Charlie in the same room. What do you think?
Is he Greek?
Oh, I'm not too
sure.
No,
he changed his name to Augustus Invictus. That's not his real name.
Is it really?
It was changed.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it was changed.
He's a cool guy, though. I'd love to get him in here. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll book him as a guest on Thursday. We'll have him and Charlie in the studio talking politics.
Yeah, there you go.
That's great.
Topher is going to be a guest host for me. I've done 27 weeks in a row of this stuff, and so Topher is going to be in here more and more helping me guest host. But the week of September 13th, I'm going to be up in Chicago, so Topher is going to take control that week, except for the Wednesdays, Working Women Wednesdays. That's always Jessica Ravelli will be in here that week or that day. And so there you go. You can bring in Augustus and talk
He'll
Charlie.
be a great guest, and he's. I think you're going to like him a lot. He's a big fan of deregulation. He thinks that he's an attorney, though, so I should preface that he is an attorney, but he's a good one. He's a good one.
He became an attorney because of he became an attorney though because of what he considers the overbearing DEA that kind of came down on a business that he was working in, which inspired him to get into the field of law. Interesting story. I did meet with him a few weeks ago, and he told me the story. But he was just working in a pharmaceutical business. It sounded to me though as like one of those pill mills that needed to be broken into. But I don't know. That's not how he tells the story.
I'll tell you a secret. I always wanted to be an attorney because you know what? I like to argue. I like to argue my case. And
you would be in contempt of court on every single case because the judge would go, you have to let the other people speak.
Well, you know what? The only time when I debate Democrats is they never let facts get in the way of a good story. And I always have facts on my side to back it up. And a lot of these things can be, Google them. Look them up on the internet. You don't have to go to one website.
Because we know that there's nothing false on the internet.
Well, no. But that's why
black and white.
You go to multiple...
That's my monitor.
You go to multiple sites and you look up the statistics. Yeah, it's not all BS, but hey, it's just like when we get back to the out of wedlock birth rate. You know what? That's way too up across the board. Let's like I said, guys, family values. That's gonna be the answer to a lot of the problems in our country. Education, getting people jobs.
Swing that over to Mike.
Thank you. I have this question. Again. You keep saying family values. And that's the problem. That's the problem. What's the answer?
Well, the answer is to stop rewarding illegitimacy. There's been passed on from generation to generation to generation. Back in 1964, before LBJ signed the Great Welfare Act into law, 27% of black kids were born out of wedlock. Welfare has worked so well, has been so efficient, that now 76% of our African-American brothers and sisters are born out of wedlock. That's the great injustice and inequity.
Okay, so
black
if
families.
you get rid of welfare, what about all of the families who use it for all the right reasons that need it to get a hand up?
That's what it should be for. It should be workfare, not welfare, not a continuous handout. We'll give people a hand up, but not a continuous handout. Hey, I've talked to people about this. Oh, let's get past the illegitimacy out of wedlock birth rate. You know what? The out of wedlock birth rate correlates with poverty. It correlates with the dropout rate. It correlates with the imprisonment rate. It has everything to do with what's wrong with this country.
Yeah, but correlation and causation are two different things. You can't just sit there and say, you know what, people kill people more because they eat ice cream, because statistically there's more deaths in the summer and there's more ice cream sales in the summer. Therefore, ice cream kills people.
Motor vehicles.
Correlation and causation, two totally different things. And I think Fox News has confused that.
Ice cream kills people?
Yeah, it's true. Look it up on the internet.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, I can't eat ice cream or I'll kill someone?
Well, to me, when you have such a high out of wedlock birth rate, and people are not doing anything to solve this problem, we keep on rewarding it. All it's going to do is going to contribute to the problem. How you fix it is to stop rewarding people for this activity. You know what? And if you want to have a child out of wedlock, we'll pay for the first one, but we'll make it mandatory to where you voluntarily have your tubes tied to where you're not just having one kid. After, you know what? And
you don't think that's
the Democrats,
slightly Hitler-esque right there?
Kevlar vest.
But
I need a Kevlar vest when I walk out of here, please.
But you know what the funny thing is? Having the tubes tied, that's a bad thing. But ripping the baby out of the womb, abortions, that's not a bad idea. Come on, guys.
No, I don't think having your tubes tied is a bad thing. I think having the government force you to have your tubes tied is a bad thing.
They voluntarily do it.
Or they don't get their pay.
Let's not get too deep in that topic because we got about a minute.
So we're paying them.
Hold on, Charlie. We got about a minute left here. I don't want to get you on that one. I'll never get you off that topic if we go down that path.
You're my employee. I'm going to drug test you. Let's drug test everybody on welfare. Hey, let's drug test all the politicians. How about that? You know, they're all on drugs.
All right, Charlie, we got to wrap that one up right there. I got about a minute left here.
Can I just make one thing?
Go ahead, Michael.
We are up for an award, by the way. I know that's a great segue from this, but you know, what the hell? I have to get it in, and the show is so we're up for DuPont Magazine is doing their Posh Picks, and we're up for that, and we need people to vote for us. So if you can go to Tampa Bay blog.DuPontregistry.com. It was on the line, not
I'll
one
put it
line.
in the show recap.
That would be great. I appreciate it. Vote for us. That would be great. We'd love to win. I just wanted to say that.
You got my vote.
Thank you.
I'm going to vote early and vote often.
That's the Southern way in Chicago.
That's Michael Murphy, who was the guest in the first segment, michaelmurphygallery.com, and we'll put that link up in the recap, which you can find over at tampabayradio.com. Also, thank you to Charlie. Love him or hate him. Use the hashtag American Plumber in all your social media posts, and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. I hear good and bad from him after each show. So, and also thanks to Topher Morrison, key person of influence, managing director, and you'll hear him in here from time to time guest hosting. Topher, thank you very much.
Indeed, thank you for the honor.
And also thanks to Stella, although she couldn't get in too many words.
Her knee is still touching mine, by the way.
Poor little Stella
I just want to point that out.
I think she's
this
frightened.
Entire hour, her knee
she's frightened right now. So. But we got to wrap this one up. As always, visit TampaBayRadio.com for all the show updates and catch me back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.